Welcome to Talk of the Town. This is an official podcast from the town of Pinetop-Lakeside to expand upon community topics shared through the Talk of the Town newsletter. Here we will give you more detail, respond to questions, and deliver information about community news and happenings. Hey, it's Rob Hefner here with the town of Pinetop-Lakeside, Talk of the Town, and we're going to start a series of shows that are going to talk around certain things. This is rather generic, what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about what is a referendum. And I have with me the clerk of the town, and it's Kristi
Salskov.
Salskov, sorry. So it's one of those names that I got to learn. Kristi, talk to us a little bit about, first of all, what do you do for the town of Pinetop-Lakeside?
So I'm the town clerk, and what the clerk's office does is we're the official holders of any
documents, processes, stuff like that.
Drawing a blank here. Yeah, any contracts, as far as even like titles of vehicles, anything. But we also are over elections. Navajo County runs our elections, but we oversee in the town part of it. I have to do all the postings and
So whenever a meeting's coming up, you're the one that makes sure that the agenda's posted.
Correct. I do all of the agendas. Plus, I have a deputy clerk, Mackenzie, who does planning and zoning. But I do all of town council, PSPRS. We have Milena, who's been doing MIAC for us, which is awesome. We also keep records, minutes of all meetings, and
follow all the open meeting law stuff. And we're going to actually talk about open meeting law and how we have to follow that and why it's important to understand that everything that's done for the public has to be done in the public.
That's correct.
And every single time any of these, like the commissioners with planning, zoning, or the actual council members join together in a group, if they're in a quorum or more people, you actually have to make a notice saying there's a possible quorum that could happen.
Yes, that's correct. At the beginning of every month, I do a notice of possible quorums for the entire month. So when we have events and stuff that I know that more than four or more council members, because we have 7, so a quorum would be 4, then I do have one for the whole month. But then if something comes up between the first of the month and like say an emergency meeting or kind of a rush event or something, I will post an individual call of notice of quorum.
Okay. Now, I only mention this in this what is a referendum because I want people to understand that the council members are the representatives of them, the public,
right?
Because they've gone through the voting process. They've done everything that they properly are supposed to be doing to be able to do things in the public. A referendum is something that's put in place. And why don't you give us a little background in Arizona? What is a referendum?
So a referendum, by definition, is an event in which the people of a town, city, county, or state vote for or against a law that deals with a specific issue. So on the town, in a town or a city, it would be against a resolution or an ordinance.
Right.
It's a little different on the state side of it, but that is something that the town council votes on, and it takes 30 days for an ordinance to become effective. So if somebody does not agree with that, or a group of people don't agree with that, they have a right to refer that to a vote of the people. So within that 30 days of when the ordinance is approved and posted, they've got to come in and file with the clerk to receive a petition number, and we assign them a petition number. We have to provide them with the resolution or ordinance to attach to that petition, in which they take out and get signatures of the people. And the amount of signatures is 5% of the amount of people that voted in the previous election.
Okay. So previously, referendums, and the reason I think this came about was there were some laws that were in the books that were old laws that nobody knew how to address. And way back when, and like, let's make one up. Okay. You can't fly a yellow flag on Tuesday. And all of a sudden it was like, well, this is absurd. And the town, the city council wasn't really sure how to address it. People could pull out, make a referendum and do that. Now, typically now, because of the way we have everything, people would come to the town.
Yes.
They would say, hey, can you get rid of that? They'd put that in front of the town council. They would vote it out and it'd be gone. But if you had a situation where you felt like the town council just wasn't representing you at all, and they weren't listening at all, that you could say, no, we want to do this and have everybody vote on it. But that's a process past the town listening. Isn't that correct?
Right. Yeah. We typically, when an ordinance is adopted, we have public hearings.
Right.
And the public, and we post notices on the town.com county.gov website, at the Lakeside Pinetop Post Office, and at the town hall. So if there's something on the agenda that they want to come talk about, or they have an opinion for or against what is on that ordinance, they have the right to come and speak on that and let the council listen. And then if it gets passed by the council and they still don't like it, that's when they have a right to refer.
Okay. So more details on referendums. What is it specifically in Arizona? What's the process again? Just take us one more time through that. How many people?
Okay. So if somebody has an organization, they have to file an organization with a notice of organization here, and they have to file an application with the town clerk's office. Then if they come in, there's an application for a referendum. They come in and say, we want to do a referendum on this ordinance or this resolution. I have to then provide that group or person with the petitions, and I have to give them a serial number that has to be written on every petition, and they can take that. We have to staple that to it. I can either give them the website or a digital copy from the Secretary of State's office on the rules of doing a referendum. So typically I just give a digital copy on a thumb drive. Okay.
So they do all that. They go out, they get signatures, they bring it back. Are the signatures validated or are they accepted? How does that process
They bring
go?
them back to the town clerk. They're not validated at that time, but I do have to issue a receipt, either written or electronic, that says who dropped it off, the time and date stamp, how many petitions were received, and the number of signatures on each petition. So a total of this many signatures received. That's not validating any of those.
Okay.
Yep. Then I do a quick review I have to review to make sure that the person that signed it was the same handwriting of the person that wrote their name and address. So it has to match.
Okay.
If it doesn't, I can disqualify a signature. I typically don't do that because I don't know what someone's printing, and signatures are different. But I will do a random generator. I put say I have a number 1 to 200 signatures, and I need to pull 12 random numbers. And we have a random generator. It gives me the numbers. I circle those and I send those to the Navajo County office, and they verify those signatures. Then they send us back a certified letter saying this many were verified, this many were disqualified.
Okay. Once that's done, then it goes and it gets put into cycle to be voted upon?
Yeah. So after that's done, I do notify the group or person who applied for the referendum, and then we have to do a call of election. So at that point, we know they have enough signatures to refer it, to take to a vote of the people. We put it on an agenda for council to hear that the specific ordinance or resolution was referred, and they had the correct amount of signatures to move forward with the referendum. And then it's taken to the council, and they will either repeal the ordinance or resolution if they don't want to go through a costly election, or they'll say, we'll let this go, we'll do a call of election.
So here's the deal. Most people think that this is at no cost, and I go, what's it matter that we just take it out of the hands of the town council? The town council may have already approved it, and now we're going to say, well, let's just let the people vote. There's a couple things there. One, you're saying that the town council, from the people that are filing the referendum, are saying that the town council is not operating properly and not listening to people. Okay,
right.
That's what they're saying specifically when they go out and they get people to sign the petition, which they may not think about when they're signing a petition. The other thing it's saying is that that we now want to go to another process. That other process, I mean, it already costs money to run the town at a normal level. Right. All the taxes are collected or used hopefully to maintain roads, do these things. What's the cost to do an election like this?
Well, a mail-in ballot election is actually fairly costly. There's a price from the county that we get for doing a mail-in election. I don't know that off the top of my head, but with all of the postings that we have to do per state statute and the translations that we have to pay someone to write all of our postings in Spanish, a total for an election like this, a referendum election, would be around $20,000.
So that's $20,000 that won't go to pave roads. That's $20,000 that won't go to pay a police officer. That's $20,000 that's got to be used to allow people to say, we didn't trust what the town council did and we want to do it. We want another look at it. And then it may or may not even pass, correct?
Oh, yeah, that's correct.
Okay. So just understand that that's what a referendum, the referendum is basically a statement that we don't like what the town council did. And those are your representatives. So the easier path is to talk to the representatives and work with town council to find out what's going on versus this, and we're going to talk more about some of the referendums that have come about and done that. But from a base level referendum, is that correct? That's what it is.
Yeah, that's correct. And with every meeting here is open to the public, and I would just encourage the community to come to these meetings. We have town council meetings the first and third Thursday of every month at 6 o'clock, always open to the public, always really great agenda items that anybody can come in and speak on any agenda item they want. Always open door policy here at Town Hall. They're welcome to come talk to staff, the town manager, and I feel like it would be a good learning opportunity for some of the public to come in and just be aware of what the town has going on. As staff, we work very hard on items. I think all of our town council members are elected. We don't have one that's appointed. So, I think that they're elected for a reason. I think people trust them and to make what's the right decision for the town. But, the public does have a right to refer any item that they don't agree with. And that is
awesome.
That's something that can be done.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time today. We appreciate that. And like she stated, if you have any questions, you can come in right down here to Town Hall. You can call, you can email. But easiest thing, stop by. You're local.
Come see us.